That's great. That's great.
Nice to see you. How has your day been so far?
It has been great, quite productive, I would say. Yeah.
So when you say productive, what have you done?
I have done a lot of things in order to, for example, it's summer vacations going on. I have two children. So one of them is studying in class two. So he has got a lot of holiday homework. I helped with the homework, create some artistic work for him. And at the same time, I've done something for my channel. I have a YouTube channel, so I create videos and all. So it's quite productive since morning.
Nice. Okay. So for how long have you been on YouTube?
It's been 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your videos all about?
It is all about English language. Actually, when I've started learning English, I had created one YouTube channel. And because that time I was not really good with my speaking, I used to
Hmm.
speak broken English. So I used to record my voice. I used to post it on channel. I used to share with my audience, like, this is how I am learning English. And gradually, like, it's been 2 years, so I can say that I'm able to express my thought uh, clearly. Earlier, I was not like this.
And I can also say, by the way that you are speaking, you're doing a great job with your language.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this question. What triggered you or what came to mind when you said that, okay, I want to start a YouTube channel?
Honestly speaking, I was really confident at that time. Though I used to speak wrong English, I have this zeal of speaking good English, like in future. So I found only one option. I thought that nobody is around me. There is no environment. So why not? Why I should not post my videos on YouTube? At
Right?
least if some people who are good with this language, they may correct me online. They may find out my mistakes. They may guide me. This is the only thought which came to me when I've started my journey. And it actually happened. When I started posting videos, people used to tell me that, ma'am, this is wrong way of saying this. You have to say like that. And
Hmm.
just by these small corrections, I have learned a lot throughout my journey. And that's the only thing which made me fluent in this language, I can say.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, Karishma, um, I would like for you to choose a topic that you and I can speak about. It can be anything. You can even choose a topic that a lot of your subscribers or your viewers would like for you to speak about or would like clarification on. So you can choose anything, and the two of us will have a nice conversation about it.
Sure, sure. But before that, I would like to know something about you.
Sure. What would
Yes.
you like to know?
Anything like your introduction, where are you
Okay.
from, like basic detail.
All right. So you know my name. You can see my name on the screen, Obey Parker. I was actually, I have two nationalities. I'm Indian as well as South African. Okay. So I studied both in India as well as in South Africa. I'm a native English speaker. English is my first language. Um, I used to live in Mumbai, but for the past 2.5 years, I would say, I live in a small town called Chiplun, which is like 4.5 hours away from Mumbai.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've got a 2.5-year-old daughter as well. She's she's my blessing. I'll tell you a story, right?
Okay.
So when we found out that my wife was pregnant, okay,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my family members were like, okay, this is the first child who's going to come into the family
Mm-hmm.
from my mom and my dad's side. So they a lot of people have this thing that the first child should be a boy, and I prayed for the entire 9 months. I said, God, please give me a baby girl. I do not ask for anything else. Just give me a baby girl. In fact, my father was also with me on this. He also wanted a granddaughter, not a grandson. My wife, my wife's side of the family, my mom, everyone were wishing for a boy. Okay. And The funny thing is that I was doing night shifts when my wife was towards the end of her pregnancy. Okay. So I did a night shift. I went to sleep at 7 in the morning. All of a sudden, my phone rings at 11 o'clock. I'm like, hello, what? And they said, your wife's in labor. She's about to give birth. I jumped up and I ran to the hospital. By the
Okay.
time I reached the hospital, they said, Obeji, congratulations, you have a baby girl. I was like, yes. So, yeah, that's about me. I have a small family. It's me, my mom, my dad, my wife. I've got two younger brothers and my daughter.
So I also have a story to share. Okay. So yeah, I want to share this story that you are seriously like very lucky that you got girl because I tried twice and I have two boys. I don't have a girl. And literally I feel like even at this point of time that having a girl in the family is literally a blessing. And
It is.
every person at least have a girl in the family. This is what I really feel. So yeah.
That's
And
why I consider myself lucky.
yeah, you are. And yes, you have said that I need to choose a topic. So that's why I asked you because the moment you speak, I realize that you are not an Indian speaker, you are a native speaker. So my topic is related to that, that people say that accent is important. But I say that accent is not important. What is your opinion or your point on that?
No, you are in a way you are right. An accent is not really important. The thing to remember is to try to make your accent as neutral as possible. Okay. The reason being, I'll give you an example. First, I'll give you an example of a smaller example, and then I'll give you a large scale example. Okay. When you're in India, people from the north will have a different accent, east will have a different accent, west will have a different accent, and the southern part will have a different accent. Right? If, say, for example, if you go to the south, right now they are Malayali speaking or they are Tamil speakers, and they have a different accent when they speak in English. Now, some of the words you may not understand. Why? Because their mother tongue is influencing their English. That's the reason we are not able to understand them, right? Now, this is India. Okay? This is India. Now, let's go on a larger scale. People from the United States, even though they are native speakers, the United States has over 15 documented accents. Okay. Then you go to Europe. Europe has a different accent. Ireland has a different accent. Scotland has a different accent, right? You come to the Middle East, the entire UAE, right? Dubai, Saudi Arabia, different accent. Then you go to New Zealand and Australia, they have a different accent. So, how do we overcome this? Right? The best way to overcome this is to have a neutral accent that everyone can understand. That is why you were right when you said that having an accent is not important. However, having a neutral accent is important so that your message that you want to convey is understood by the masses.
The picture is getting blurred most of the time.
I don't understand why. Let me just see.
You know, whenever I had a session on Zoom, especially, I always
Is it okay
face this
now?
kind of problem. Right now, it's okay. But from
Okay.
last 5 minutes, it was blur or, moving a lot or it's not proper. But fine. Okay. One more thing I would like to ask you that people say like native speakers also make mistakes. They do not really focus on grammar, but the thing they focus on is delivering their speech in a precise and clearly. They do not focus
Mhm.
much on grammar. Is it correct?
No,
No?
no. See, when it comes to a native English speaker, right?
Right.
They the reason that they are called native English speakers is because they English is their first language, right? So, say for example, a person who has Hindi as their first language, it is very rare that the person who has Hindi as a first language would make grammatical errors, right? Now, yes, it is possible for native speakers to also make grammatical errors. Yes, there is a possibility, but it is, if you compare a native English speaker with a person who has English as a second or third language, the errors are minimal, okay? But it's not necessary that a native English speaker will not make grammatical errors. In fact, if you go to places like in Europe, um, often there are a lot of people, even though it is called England, right? And we hope that they speak the correct way, right? But you will often find people over there as well making a lot of grammatical and pronunciation errors.
Then your picture is blurred. Not able to see you at all.
Can you check your network?
Yeah, my network is okay because I am on Wi-Fi. There's no
Even
chance.
same here.
I don't know. I think there's some technical glitch, but why it always happen? I don't know. Because sometimes, when it happens, I distract and I'm not
Mm,
able to concentrate what the speaker is speaking or what I have to speak. Sometimes I don't know why
I
it
can
happens with
understand.
me.
Yeah, I can understand
So
what you're
that's why.
saying.
But right now it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. One last question. These three questions
Sure, sure.
were there in my mind. The question is, the people say that we can learn English in just 30 days. These 30 days spoken English challenges are everywhere on YouTube. If you will see or type in the YouTube, you will get so many videos of like that. They give you a proper plan every week. Even I try to create that plan. I have been working on that from last 20 days, but I'm still not coming up with the solution because I always feel stuck. I had this doubt whether a person is able to understand English in just 30 days or not. What's your opinion on
English is a very vast language.
that? Okay.
If it comes to a 30-day challenge, you will be able to maybe understand the simple basics,
Basics.
right? If you want to get, let's say, for example, you've got daily conversations, then
Hmm.
you've got business English, then you've got formal English, informal English, you've got grammar, you've got pronunciation, right? And just grammar as a topic, right? Just grammar would take you more than 30 days to understand, okay? Because you've got sentence formation, you've got sentence structure, you've got many different things that you have to do. And this 30-day challenge that people give, to be honest with you, it is very difficult for people who do not have English as a first or a second language, is because they are used to speaking in a different language. And what they tend to do is they tend to translate from their first language. Let's say, for example, Hindi. They tend to translate from Hindi into English, and that becomes incorrect, right? So this 30-day challenge is like you can understand the basics, but trust me, you will not be you, let's say you put someone in front of me, right, who took up this 30-day challenge. I can guarantee you that person will not be able to have a conversation with me for more than 10 minutes.
Okay. So like practically it's not possible.
No, because English as a language, it's one of the most complicated languages on earth. Okay. And on top of that, it's an ever evolving language. I'll give you a simple example. 5, 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? People never used this word vibe, VIBE, right? They never used this word. All of a sudden, nowadays, people are like, Karishma is giving me a positive vibe, right? Her channel gives positive vibes. So,
Yes.
you know, English evolves.
Yes, that's true.
So you can never say that, hey, I've perfected the language. No, you can't do that.
Um, we cannot be, see, if I talk about that I want to master English, I'm not talking about that. But I may start able to speak or understand basic English because
Yes,
English, though it's not my first language, but I have been studying English since my childhood in the school.
exactly.
For example,
Yes.
if somebody has asked me to learn Spanish, I obviously need to learn the letters,
Hmm.
structures, the words, the reading, writing. I don't know anything about Spanish, but at the same time, if
Exactly.
somebody's asked me about English, I know everything, right? I know reading,
Exactly.
I know writing, I know many words. It's just that I'm hesitant to speak, right?
Hmm.
So in that case, what I feel is that it's possible, but person has to put extra efforts. It's
In
not
that
just like
case, it's
10 minutes a
possible.
day. Yeah,
Yes,
in
in
that
that
case,
case, it's possible.
and you know what, I'm trying to create a kind of plan where the people who are hesitant, they can speak. What kind of activity they should include in their daily routine, which can help them to speak better English after 30 days. This is what I'm planning from last 20 days, and I'm still not yet completed that.
I'll give you
So,
one topic that you can, shoot at. Choose the topic of soft skills.
soft skills.
Yes. So the reason I'm telling you to choose soft skills, it'll help you in this, you are trying to create this 30-day challenge, right? Take soft skills. Reason being, soft skills will provide you with communication skills, body language, facial expressions, presentation skills, everything. So go for soft skills.
Yes, that's
That'll
very
help you a lot.
important. Right. I've created one video on that too, because I feel that non-verbal communication that also plays an important role when it comes
It
to
does.
communication, right?
It does.
So, but people tend to forget this. We mostly focus on English, we focus on speaking, but we never focus on how to speak, how to present, how to appear yourself, how to make facial expressions. So that is also the important part I feel that we should teach to the people. And yeah, this is what I want to say.
I agree with you 100%. All right. So, Karishma, I think we've run out of time.
Okay, it's so early. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's been, I think, 17, 18 minutes now.
Okay, no problem. It's a really nice conversation with you, and would definitely want to connect with you again with a good topic.
Perfect. The pleasure was all mine, Karishma. You have been an amazing person. All right. I wish you all the best for your channel and keep going.
Thank you.
You're doing very well.
Thank you so much. Okay then.
You're welcome. See ya. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.